Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So today is the last day of the content marketing conversation. All week, I've been talking about how to repurpose, repeat, remind, and rewind. So we're going to do a recap session today so I can share some strategies with you guys. As always, feel free to share this out. Sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. Tag your business besties. And of course, if you're catching me on the replay side, you can always drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. My girl Yvonne is in the building. Hey, boss. Hey, always feel free to let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. So, all right, y'all, let's drop right into the conversation. Yesterday, I left off talking to you about putting your routines on repeat. So, thinking about some things that maybe you do on an annual basis, like high level you do every year, your long term vision, or maybe things that you would like to consistently do every quarter, every month, every week, or even maybe even every day, like how I'm doing these daily web classes with you guys, right? Think about those routines and then put them on repeat. I was thinking about those routines and then put them on routines. Think about those routines and then put them on repeat. That's what we talked about yesterday, right? So feel free to binge watch the previous web classes for the details on that. Today, what I want us to do is to talk now about specifically reminders and repurposing content. Okay. So, first thing here is reminders. What it is when it comes to, well, what am I trying to say? What are some things that you're working on right now? And as you're working on these things real time, you're checking in with your audience to let them know about that. Okay. So this morning, I did what I love to do on Sundays, which is my content club. It's a private virtual group. I always say a Sunday well spent brings a week full of content. So I love to work with my mentees on Sunday. Before I got into that session, I actually sent out, I'm tongue tied, y'all. Could just be that I need some water in me. I don't know. I feel like I'm so tongue tied today. Give me a second. Let me get some water. So good. I had my mini me. I was like, I need you to get me 2 bottles of water and a glass full of ice. So glad that I did that, right? So, before I started the content club this morning, I sent out an email to a few of my segmented lists and I said, hey, do you want to work on animated graphics? Do you want to work on breaking up the monotony of your social media content so you could break away from boring? Do you want to work on illustrations? If that's the case, then I'm just reminding you that my content club meets on Sundays. If you haven't already done so, you may want to grab the extension over at sense.com/TCC. So that was a reminder for a few of the segmented groups in my community that I do work with people on social media content creation. And that's something that I do on a weekly basis on Sundays, right? So, number one, I always say to you guys that it's good to remind people about the branded things that you do on a routine basis, right? Like, for example, my monthly mastermind. But I always also say that sometimes people don't sign up and convert just because it's something that you're offering. Sign up to my mastermind, sign up to my club, sign up to my program. What gets people, what hooks people a lot of times is the specifics. So there were quite a few people who signed up for the mastermind this month just because I said to them, this month we're working in WordPress. And they're like, oh my God, this is perfect. Right now I need to work on WordPress. I need to work on my blog, right? So this morning, when I sent out the reminder, I said, hey, today we're working on animated illustrations. We're working on creating avatars for yourself if you want to have some animated graphics of you. We're working in Canva. We're doing some memes and Giphies too. I talked about that this morning, right? So it was very specific. I always say you're not here to reach everybody but the right bodies, right? So in between sharing your on a routine basis, sharing the different branded offers you have. Like I said, in my case, I got calls, I got masterminds, I got programs, I got clubs, I got all these different things. I try to be as specific as possible so that it really rises above the white noise and catches the attention of somebody who says, oh my gosh, this is what I need right now. Okay. So today, the first thing that I want you to reflect on is, are you doing some things and real time? Can you stop a second in the midst of doing it and check in with your audience and say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm working on ... just as a reminder. And it's important for you to do that. So for example, I'm getting a lot of, political reminders about what needs to happen now. And you should be doing this now. You should be checking out that now, right? And it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. But keep in mind that real time, our life is happening. So your life is happening, and maybe there are things that you're supposed to be doing or things that you want to do and you keep forgetting, or you're saying, okay, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. That's why reminders are important. We forget that as human beings. Thank you, by the way, for the hearts and the likes and the love. Keep tapping on that and share this out. Share this with a couple of your business besties. Like, come on, bring them in, tag them, share it, do what you need to do, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in the technology and the systems of, oh, I need to post this and share that we forget that we're actually interacting with other human beings. Okay, so I sent out that thing. Let me wait for people to buy. Let me wait for people to convert. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You have to get into the habit of sharing reminders consistently, because people will go, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then they won't look at it for a while. But then if you're consistent about popping in their ear and saying, hey, let me remind you of ... that's going to help them, right? That's going to help them to see that's something they should take advantage of, right? So for example, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I posted on Instagram this morning and I said, whew, girl, I woke up tired. But even though I'm tired, I am far from done. Who can relate, right? When you wake up exhausted, but there's so much to do. So I encouraged my community, like I encourage you, when you're tired, learn to rest, not to quit. There are 7 days in the week, right? Monday through Sunday. Someday is not one of them, right? Someday I will. No. What you gonna do today? Right? So I shared that word of encouragement, but in that message, and if I don't forget, I'll show it to you on the screen. In that message, I said, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but I'm encouraging you to start something today, to start now. Start now is the agenda for my Back to Business webinar conference. It's happening next week. Have you registered? If not, go to backtobusiness.me. You see? So there are lots of different ways that you can remind people. What I want to do is today, I want to encourage you in the midst of what it is that you're trying to produce. Stop a second and remind folks of what you're doing. So number one, I reminded a few of my segmented lists, people who are on my email list, not everybody, but a couple of folks. I said, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I do have the content club on Sundays. You want to make sure that you go over to www.success.com/TCC, where you can learn about the content club and sign up for the extension, specifically if you are looking to work on your social media content, because this weekend we worked on graphics, illustrations, avatars, animations, all that good stuff. We had such a good time. And I am actually in the process of putting the replays online for my mentees who couldn't catch it live. So I did that via email. That was reminder number one. Then reminder number two, I went onto social media and I shared some words of encouragement and just real talk, letting people know I'm stretched so thin. I'm smiling, y'all, but I am tired, with some extra R's and E's and D's and all that stuff up in there. But even though I'm not done, I'm still committed. I'm still working. I encourage other people to do that too. Identify something they could do to start now. And then I use that to segue into reminding them that start now is the objective of our Back to Business webinar conference that's happening next weekend over at backtobusiness.me. And again, if I don't forget, before we wrap up today's web class, I'll take you inside of my Instagram to show you that particular graphic. And so that's the key. Those are two specific examples of reminders that I shared today. think about how you can remind your folks or some of your folks in some way of something that you're working on, right? Because sometimes we get so caught up in the routine of just doing the work, we forget that we need more people to see the work, right? We got to put that out there. I was on a clarity call with one of my clients and she said, LaShonda, I need your help. I need to break the cycle. I always do this where I'm working on stuff and I get to like 5% done and I don't finish. And then I go on to something else and then I don't go on to something else, right? We worked on, okay, how can she break that cycle? Because she wants more people to see her stuff, but she keeps just starting and starting and starting and starting and starting. And so you got to do that. You got to break the habit of sometimes of just working on your stuff in the effort of working on your stuff and then putting it out there so more people can see it. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but it's common. So now that I talked about reminders, the last thing that I want to do is to talk to you about repurpose, right? What are some things that you can repurpose and integrate into some things that you're working on right now? Let me get some more water. Hey, Michelle, my Michelle G. My Michelle G says we get addicted to the rush of creating, right? And an exciting idea, right? Exactly, right? So sometimes you're in a space where you're so like committed to and focused on what it is that you're creating, you forget that you need to get more people to see it. You're creating it so that you can experience other people experiencing it, right? And so taking some time to send out those reminders, so very important. So the next thing here, I'm actually on the backtobusiness.me page over on Sister Sense, which again is www.backtobusiness.me. And so what I want to do is to share with you a few repurpose examples. So Back to Business, it's a virtual webinar conference I do every year. I always have some amazing speakers. The lineup is lit. One of my girls is actually here, Miss Lavon. She's going to be talking about how to start your day right using affirmations. I'm super excited about that. That is something that I want you to definitely take a look at and register. But what I want to do specifically today is to talk to you about how I repurposed content in smart ways to really enhance this particular experience. So I'm showing this, by the way, to folks who are watching right now on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. If you're following me on Instagram, you can't really see what I'm doing. So you're going to probably have to watch this part of the segment over on one of those platforms. But essentially, I can also just verbalize some of the things that I'm sharing on this particular page. Now, I'm going to scroll down because number one, there are lots of ways to experience Back to Business. You see all of these beautiful melanated sisters beside me. We've got an amazing lineup of experts and entrepreneurial visionaries who are talking about things to do to start now, because that's the agenda for this year. And so I said, you know what? How can I enhance this experience? I'm going to repurpose some of my content. And here, if you look right here, you'll see three really awesome examples of content that essentially I have created that I've added on to really make this thing pop. So I created something a few months ago. It's called Start and Grow. And Start and Grow, GRO, is actually an acronym that I put together, I want to say maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Grow for me, GRO, is multifaceted. Grow stands for Get Rich Online, because all of y'all want to get grow, right? You want to grow, drop GRO into the comment box for me. GRO, Get Rich Online. This is multifaceted because in order for you to get rich online, you have to learn how to GRO, generate revenue online, right? GRO, you got to consistently learn how to generate revenue. But in order to generate revenue online, you have to get better at 3 GROs: your goals, your routines, and your offers. You like that, right? GRO is deep. So I have the Start and Grow guide. I have the Start and Grow challenge. I have the Start and Grow bundle. And because the vision for Back to Business this year is my speakers talking about different things that you can start, to start blogging, to start working at home, to start podcasting, to start knowing your worth, to start using affirmations, to start putting yourself out there. I mean, woo, we gonna dig into it for Back to Business, right? I said, what are some things that I've produced that are in line with the Start and Grow experience? So one of the things that you're going to see here is the 47 power moves. And I talked about this. If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. I can't remember which one, but I talked about creating playlists. So playlists of videos or maybe a playlist of audios where you can pool like-minded related content together. So 47 power moves is actually, my hubby is, what is he doing? Is he booty popping? Is that what you call it? Is that what you young people call it? He's trying to distract me while booty popping out of my office. I'm going to leave that alone. Yes, drop that in there. GRO. So 47 power moves is actually 47 training sessions, some of the best of my previous Back to Business sessions. And I said, you know what? We're talking about start now. So let me share some sessions on crowdfunding, some sessions on becoming successful, some sessions on building your tribe, all of these great sessions we did prior to, and put that in a playlist so that people can, it's a guide, it's a playlist guide. You can easily see the different types of videos and click and watch, instant access, right? So that's repurposing. That's repurposing at its best. I talked about playlists this week, and I want to bring that into the conversation. Number one. Number two, I have something called, and I'm going to show it to you now so you guys on Instagram can see it. This is my 31-day content marketing calendar, right? Start working on your content. I'm really big on that. And I actually got a message from a young lady who said to me, oh my gosh, I've been working on this and it works so well. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name, but she inboxed me recently. She's like, oh my gosh, I love the content calendar. So I created an updated edition of the calendar that is specifically for Back to Business. So it's the 31-day content marketing calendar, the Back to Business edition. So one thing that you can do is create playlists, again, whether it be audio content or video content, and pull that together and repurpose it into your new material. Another thing that you can do is to create special editions of content you've already produced. So in my case, the 31-day content marketing calendar, I have the Back to Business edition that you see on the screen, number two. Number three, what you can do is you can repurpose the content that you get from other people that you work with, right? So video is one thing, audio is another, but then there's also text, right? So video, audio, text-based content. I have had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of working with some amazing women over the years. I see here Charvette Mitchell, Kim Coles, Renee Seiler, Dr. Venus Opal Reese, Pam Perry, Rochelle Shaw, God rest her soul, CC, the six-figure chick. Rest in power, CC. We lost her this year. April, Franks Hunt, April Beverly, Lisa Marie, Tanya, just some amazing women that I've worked with. Over the years, when I do my Back to Business, I always ask my experts, my business ladies, do they have articles? Do they have recommendations? Do they have resources, tips that they can share? And they share them with me. And so I created this. It's called Smart Business Hacks. And it's basically some of the best recommendations that these women have shared with me. And I put it in the form of a document, right? Love that. Awesome. So glad. I want to make sure that these are things that you guys find valuable and useful to you, right? And so I put them in this document. It's a PDF, but it's also printable as well, as you can see here. Give me 1 second because it looks like my battery on my laptop is about to die on me, baby. And we don't want that to happen. So let's see if I can plug that in. All right. So yeah, we've got some great stuff in here. Um, let's see here. I just want to just pop this thing open. The power of the power circle. Let's see here. Speak your gifts. So a great session. Kim Cole's had a great session in Back to Business. She's done so many sessions with me. I love my girl Kim. And I actually sat and transcribed some of the recommendations that she did for the Speak Your Gift session and included it in here. You can transcribe it yourself or you can get a professional to do it for you. I remember April, she just wrote this really great piece on creating a reserve of business expenses for your development. So you have some revenue when you need it. Patience Pays with Carol Sankar. Rochelle Shaw, How to Recession Proof Your Business. This article, when I say evergreen, Rochelle wrote this, I can't even tell you what year. This is such a good article, How to Recession Proof Your Business. Yeah, I mean, I plan on actually beefing this up and adding even more because over the years, I've gotten some great article submissions. And then I've also included some of my personal favorite things. So, for example, I have something called my Fire Start Your Year Planner. It's an annual planner over at firestartyouryear.com. And I said, you know what? I want people to be able to get some of the parts that are in the Fire Start Your Year planner. So I included a section on some national holidays, some national holidays that entrepreneurial spirits should be aware of. And I love this. This is 100 and what is this? This is scrolling through here. 160 trigger words that entrepreneurs should know and integrate into their marketing. That's something that I've put in quite a few of my documents, and I added it to this one as well. So yeah, this is me giving you some ideas of repurposing your own content and repurposing articles from other people. I think it's just a smart thing for you to do. And I was able to do that by adding on these pieces into the Back to Business virtual conference experience. So there are three ways to experience Back to Business. You can just get the lives, or you can get the lives plus the replays, or you can get the lives, the replays, and the Start and Grow bundle. This is a sales strategy that's GBB, good, better, best. So you can get the budget friendly good version, the better version, or the best version, which is everything that's included. This also gives me an opportunity to have 3 different price points for my offer and to basically allow different people in different budget levels to participate in whatever budget they're at, right? So I want you to think about that. Not only sharing reminders when it comes to your best content, but repurposing your best content, right? Do you have any videos or audios? Do you have any text? Do you have any previously put together ebooks or previously put together webinar content, previously put together articles, anything that you could use to add value to something that an offer that you're creating right now is essentially something that I wanted to inspire you to do as part of this experience. So you'll see here the best of Back to Business. Now, you can't see it on Instagram, but if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Periscope, I'm scrolling on the backtobusiness.me page, www.backtobusiness.me, and you'll see some photos of even more beautiful speakers. Now, these are not women who are participating live this year, but their sessions you can watch and enjoy as part of the upsell, which is the Start and Grow bundle, because the 47 power moves, you get 47 sessions in addition to the live ones we're doing for the webinar conference, right? So this is a great visual. Again, you can go over to www.backtobusiness.me to register and or just to see how I've strategically repurposed a good amount of my content here that was relevant, right? Because it's all about putting relevant content together to further enhance, your best old stuff, adding it on to further enhance your best new stuff. Okay. So yeah, these are just some examples. Like I said, my smart business hacks. This is a collection of articles, guest articles. Some of you guys have people writing on your blog, repurpose it, turn that digital content into something that's print. This one is my 31-day content marketing calendar. I made an edition that was specifically for back to business. So some of the things that you have, you can rebrand it to fit a new offer. Okay. Woo! That's it for today, y'all. I've had so much fun this week. It's been all about content marketing, how to repeat, repurpose, remind, rewind. We've been doing this for 7 days across my digital platforms on Facebook Lives, not Instagram. I did a couple on Instagram, just 2, but all 7 are on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitter. So you guys can binge those. Of course, tomorrow is the start of a new week. So new week, new work, and we'll have a new topic that we are going to be digging into mañana. All right. So don't forget, as always, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. Number 1. Number 2, if ever you miss these daily web class sessions, all you got to do is go over to sistersense.com/DWC so that you can see where I do these live stream daily web classes. That's number 2. Number 3, you need to be inside of Back to Business this year because it's live and it's going to be lit. And of course, you can always catch us on the replay side. All the details of that are at backtobusiness.me. Now, energetically, today is a great day to get still, get clear, get focused, and work on your content for the coming week. If you've had a hard week like me, you could probably use a little dose of positivity. So with my girl Lavon in mind, the creator of Live Vibrantly, we are going to do a mini affirmation session. So I have my affirmation cards always sitting on my desk right here from my girl Lavon. What I'm going to do is I am going to randomly pick 3 cards for you. Okay. And I want you to pick a number from 1 to 3. So either pick number 1, number 2, or number 3. And then I'm going to read out these affirmation cards. And you're going to basically get your affirmation for today. Okay. So I've picked 3 cards. I'm going to go with 1. I'm going to go with number 1. Not sure what card you're going to go with. Lavon, awesome. Lavon picked 3. Good, awesome, good, awesome. So feel free to, whether you're watching live or via the replay, pick a number. I've got 3 cards right here. I'm going to share the first one. And I picked 1. So this one relates to me. I don't know who else picked number 1. By the way, y'all need to see how beautiful the affirmation cards are. But my ring light is super freaking bright. So I don't know if you can see the prettiness. And again, if you're curious, the affirmation cards are at livevibrantly.com. Lavon, if you could drop your URL for your website into the comment box, that'd be great. So I can pop that onto the screen. So the first one, I am seen, heard, and I matter. Okay, let me take off these because this is for distance and I can't use these when I'm looking up close because I'm old now. I'm 40 now and my eyes don't work the same. I am seen, heard, and I matter. Whew. How you show up matters. There is no one like you. Today, the best version of yourself. Today, be the best version of yourself. How do you want to be seen this day? What would you like to contribute today? Will someone's life be made better because of how you showed up? Today, I showed up and I showed out. I love it because I said to you, funny enough, today, I said, girl, I woke up tired. And even though I'm tired, I'm not done. Did my live today. I'm going to do some client work today. Even though it's Sunday, I want to do some work because it's been a crazy week. I'm swamped. Did my, content club today. Lots of good stuff. So I'm showing up because somebody needs to hear or see something that I got to say today. So even though I'm tired, I know that I'm showing up and I got to show out for my people. So, where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. Amen. I love this one. I think it resonates with me perfectly. So that was number 1. Whoever needed to hear that, that's your motivational message. That's your affirmation for today. Okay. Let's dig into number two. Number two is I am surrendering. I am surrendering all thoughts that are not in alignment with what God thinks about me. Today, take some time to discover what God thinks about you. Jeremiah 29:11, Isaiah 55:8, Ephesians 2:10. Somebody out there needs to surrender to the fact that there are good thoughts and there are bad thoughts. And you've got to really think about the thoughts that are not in alignment with what God thinks about you. He made you for a reason, and everything happens for a reason and in divine right season. So just keeping that in mind. That's number two. Number three, I am unstoppable. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Bam. So there you go, y'all. Wrapping up today with some amazing, beautiful affirmations from my girl, Lavon. Live vibrantly. We're going to have so much fun as part of the Back to Business experience, number one. And of course, as I mentioned to you before, number two, if ever you need to check in with me, feel free to email sistersense@gmail.com. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Till tomorrow. Take care.